This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning into the Naseema Omer Show. I am Naseema, your host today, and I'm very excited to have Dr. J.Wallach back for an awesome, amazing, and always enlightening interview. One of the amazing things, there's many amazing things, but with Dr. J.Wallach, as he explains things, he explains it in such a way that can be understood by anybody and everybody, including children. So, Dr. J.Wallach, thank you again for taking the time and being on my show today.
Well, thank you for your hospitality as usual. Always enjoy your hospitality.
Thank you. And you do come a long way down in our sunny Minnesota here. Dr. J.Wallach is a veterinarian, a naturopath physician, and so much more, a pathologist, an agriculture specialist, and more. Dr. J.Wallach, today let's focus on disease states. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Okay. Does that sound like a good topic on our agenda today?
Well, we have to because, again, the medical system has failed us.
Yeah.
And people are dying from disease states they should not die from. People are suffering and being disabled from disease states that should not happen. And so I decided 40 years ago to kind of go around the medical system because I was trying to teach in school and teach students, medical students. But now we have to go directly to the public because the medical system has blocked this information from the public. So we have to go directly to the public.
You know, it is so sad because, if you missed the show that we had where Dr. J.Wallach explains how he stumbled upon information and how he proved that the information he read about in the library at age 9 worked for him, do listen to that episode. And what that proves to is anybody can take charge of giving good support to their health. Nothing to lose by going on the 90 essential nutrients daily for life as long as you need air. And, what's there to lose? Nothing. It's like food. Look at it like food, like you're ingesting food daily.
Well, I like that analogy. You did very good. And let me just add a little piece to this so I think everybody can understand. When somebody goes to their regular physical or they have some health challenge, they go to the doctor, and invariably they will ask the doctor, shouldn't I be taking a multiple? I see this on TV all the time, take this, complete nutrition, and so forth. And the doctor will always say, nah, just eat well, you get everything you need. That would be like saying, you go to a mechanic and you say, shouldn't I be putting 6 quarts of oil in this big V8 engine? Nah. What I want you to do is get 6 quarts of dirt from Texas and throw it in there. There's bound to be some oil in there because that dirt's from Texas. Everybody knows lots of oil in Texas. So just get some dirt from Texas and throw it there. Don't put oil in your car.
That is a great analogy, seriously. So, Dr. J.Wallach, and we've given recognition for heroic medicine, etc., in a previous show by doctors, but for chronic disease states or any kind of symptoms that pop up, and so many of us have been brainwashed in a way to say, don't pay attention to those symptoms. Here, just pop an aspirin, pop an ibuprofen, pop an Advil, or Aleve, or whatever else is out there, and then you numb yourself and your body gets accustomed to that, but then finally down the road it's going to start yelling, is it?
Of course, because painkillers and pharmaceuticals do not assuage the disease. They don't deal with the disease state. Okay, what they do is relieve the symptoms, and people are very happy about that. They'll even go on the prayer list at church and say, I've got terrible brittle diabetes, and my blood sugar is off the chart, and they gave me pills, and it didn't work real well, so I have to use pills and injectable insulin, and that's barely getting it under control. I got to watch my diet. It's awful. But they're happy because the medicine kind of helped them get their blood sugar under control, where the prayer list didn't.
And talking about insurance, those struggling with it would rather have their dollars go into cable television or something like that, entertainment type pieces, rather than on nutrition, simply because your insurance may pick up the bulk of the cost of pain meds and protocols.
Right. Now let's look at diabetes, because it's one of the diseases that's breaking America financially. 85% of personal bankruptcies in America, Naseema, are due to medical bills. 85% of personal bankruptcies are due to medical bills. And one of the big ones is diabetes, with all the complications: diabetes, blindness, cardiovascular disease. These are all complications, long-term complications of diabetes. And we've known for 85 years in the animal industry it's a deficiency of a single mineral. So I began back 38 years ago using the same approach for my human patients as we use in animals. It worked. It was like, holy moly, it works just as well. And so people can get the book, Let's Play Doctor, to teach you how to do your own blood tests. You don't need to go to a doctor to get a diagnosis of diabetes. Everybody knows the symptoms. You're thirsty all the time. You're going to the bathroom 2 or 3 times an hour. You are losing weight despite how much you eat. And you say, my grandma had those symptoms when she had diabetes, so I better go see the doctor and see if I have diabetes. No, don't do that. First of all, you get diabetes on your permanent health record. Your insurance rates will triple.
That's true. Not many people do that. You could order a blood test yourself or do it yourself.
Do it yourself. That's where the book, Let's Play Doctor, you go to a pharmacy without a prescription, and you get the same test strips that people use to monitor their blood sugar when they have diabetes. And you take your fasting blood sugar in the morning. If your blood sugar is below 100, you don't have diabetes. Your blood sugar is about 110, 115, you have prediabetes. 140 and above, you got diabetes. So you start taking something to support healthy sugar and carbohydrate metabolism, which is part of the longevity system. And we're very, very excited about that because it always works.
It does. It does. I've heard so many testimonials. And go on. And
so basically, here's a disease that's contributing to the bankruptcies of 85% of Americans.
So sad.
And all you have to do is stay away from the bad stuff, the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, and the glutens and sugars. There's no requirement for sugar. It's kind of fun and tastes good, but there's no requirement for sugars. You can get all the sugar and carbohydrates you need from your liver, breaking down fats and proteins to get what you need, and you can make it. There's no deficiency diseases that occur when you don't have enough sugar, and so it's not an essential nutrient. You make it yourself. You really don't need it, but it is a lot of fun to eat,
And that reminds me, I got to say something. I know you have said this also many times, and most recently we had pharmacist Ben Fuchs give a lecture, and he mentioned that too. It's like everybody says have more fruits and vegetables, and they're all excited, and what people do is they say more fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
When it should be fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
Right?
And somebody with diabetes, they should just eat nothing but vegetables and no fruit. And because doctors say, well, eat low glycemic fruit. Well, don't do that. Just don't eat any fruit.
Yeah.
You get everything you need from fruit, from vegetables, without the sugar danger. And, of course, we have many, many ways of approaching this through the longevity system to support and promote healthy blood sugar levels, healthy sugar and carbohydrate metabolism at the cellular level.
Exactly.
And there's dozens of diseases that have to do with sugar metabolism, and you can actually prevent them, eliminate them, certainly manage them better than they do with pharmaceuticals without the dangerous side effects of the pharmaceuticals.
Oh, but Doc, it runs in my family, and my grandma had it, and my mom's battling it, and the forefathers had it, and I'm bound to have it. What do you say to that?
Well, if you follow how your mom and your grandmother and your forefathers ate, you will.
Okay, got it.
Okay. See, these things that are generational, people say, well, I got 3 generations of people with type 2 diabetes. Well, it's not a genetic thing, certainly, and it has nothing to do with that. You're not destined to get it. You live in the same place, so the soil is deficient in that mineral. And when I buy from the farmer's market, well...
It's organic.
Yeah, well, there doesn't mean anything about the nutritional content of food.
Yeah,
it's
just no
pollution.
Pesticides.
Exactly. And so, in animals... This is why we give them these ground-up alfalfa pellets, because we put in there the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 minerals, 3 fatty acids, so that we're leveling the playing field. So no matter what farm in the county that milk cow came from, they're all going to give a gallon and a half of milk. If you don't put all 90 essential nutrients that are alfalfa pellets, one cow will give a pint, one cow will give a quart, one cow will give a gallon, one cow will give a gallon and a half. So if you want them all to give a gallon and a half so you're going to be maximally profitable, then you need to make sure they're getting all 90 essential nutrients so they can maximize their genetic potential for health and life and production of milk. And this actually introduced another science, which I'm considered one of the fathers and founders of, epigenetics.
Yes.
Because it's not your genes that make things happen. It's what you feed your genes that make things happen. So if you're eating the same thing your great-grandma did, you live in the same place, and she died at 120, you say, well, my brother died at 18 and had the same disease my grandma did. She lived to be 120. Well, he's not getting the same things grandma did because of a technology that came along, which is probably the basis of all of our disease states today, is this technology.
Yeah, that is so sad.
And do you know what the technology is, Naseema?
Mm-hmm.
It's electricity. Because before electricity, wood was the universal fuel around the world.
Right.
Even remote Pacific Islands, I mean, there was no...
light bulbs.
Yeah, well, there was no light bulbs. There was no communication to those people. But just out of necessity, they learned how to use wood for fuel. And everybody, again, nobody's taught this, except by maybe grandma telling you, hey, throw those wood ashes in the garden. Well, it turns out, Naseema, wood ashes are not ashes. Wood ashes are really the minerals that the tree sucked up out of the ground. And has a little bit of carbon in it, so it turns it gray or black. But 95% to 98% of the weight and the bulk of those wood ashes are really minerals that the tree sucked out of the ground. Burn the wood, the minerals are left, throw them in the garden. The plants use it to flourish and suck up into their cells for their own utilization. And then we eat those plants, and we get the minerals in that fashion. That's how Grandma did it. Now, she didn't know about supplementing, but she knew about throwing wood ashes in the garden.
Yeah.
Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street, New York City, an event took place that changed all that. Naseema, we know the exact moment because this event was in every newspaper in the world the next day because we had the telegraph, which sent the information out, and every newspaper in the world picked it up. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street, New York City, on the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison pulled the switch on the first commercial electric generating plant. Within 10 years, every city, every town, every municipality in the industrialized world moved from wood as universal fuel to electricity. No more wood ashes, no more nutritional minerals. We were doomed.
Stay tuned to hear what happens next. You are listening to the Naseema Omer Show.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
My computer is so slow, it's making me crazy.
I used to have that problem.
Did you quit using a computer, or did you buy a new one?
No, I called Geeks on Site. They made an appointment to visit my home and showed up the same day.
You mean they didn't ask you to bring your computer to a shop? That's what happened when I called a support company.
Geeks on Site can go to your home or business or even repair your computer online. They have 24/7 emergency service.
If you're having problems with your PC or Mac, call Geeks on Site. 1-800-591-1682. Our friendly certified computer repair experts are available 24/7. Call now for a free diagnosis. 1-800-591-1682. Data recovery, virus removal, and maintenance for all laptops, desktops, printers, and networks. That's Geeks on Site for friendly certified computer repair experts available 24/7 over the phone or in your home or business. Just call 1-800-591-1682. That's 1-800-591-1682. 1-800-591-1682.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
In a crisis, your number one need is food, but not just any food. Experts say everyone needs to have non-perishable, good for 25 years survival food on hand in case of an emergency. Well, right now, in what is truly an unprecedented move, 72-hour survival food kits are being given away to listeners while supplies last. Survival food is more important today than ever before, explains Frank Bates, a spokesman for the company. Natural disasters, terrorist attacks, and other threats can make obtaining sufficient food impossible in an emergency. This 72-hour survival kit has 16 servings of delicious food rated for 25 years of storage. It sells to the general public for $27 plus shipping, and it's been rated 4.5 out of 5 stars by customers who paid full price. But listeners who act quickly can get it free, just cover $9.95 shipping. Go to freefood2.com right now. Supplies are limited, and the program may end at any time. Go to freefood2.com now. That's freefood2.com.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman Stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
Welcome back to the Naseema Omer Show. I am Naseema, and I'm interviewing Dr. J.Wallach today. Just before we went on break, Dr. J.Wallach was explaining about the implementation of electricity. Okay, and so literally the switch went on with the lights, and how did that impact the food industry? And not just that, but with the moving technology and interest in money markets and benefits where people want to just make money and have kids starting to eat stuff more and more and more. How did all that bubble up to some of these chronic states we have today?
Well, again, Naseema, everybody loved electricity. It was convenient. It was safe. There was no sparks popping out of the stove and burning your house down and that kind of thing. You didn't have to go out in the middle of the night in freezing weather to get wood to bring in to keep the fire going. And so everybody loved electricity. And so when we went to electricity, we lost all the wood ashes, the minerals, the plant minerals were going into the garden. That was a major source. Farmers were always the healthiest people because they're putting their wood ashes into their gardens. People living in the city on the 4th floor of an apartment building, they didn't have a garden.
Right.
And they would use candles and they would use fireplaces and that kind of thing. But they didn't have any place to put the ashes because they didn't have a garden. But they depended on food coming from farms where they put wood ashes in the garden. Well, people liked it. So politicians back then were just the same as they are now. And
sorry, I had to laugh there.
Well, it is kind of a chuckle.
It's true.
It's a chuckle.
Yeah.
And basically what the politicians would say, look, I'm going to electrify every house. Every house is going to have electricity because they felt, we're really doing good if we have electricity in the house instead of dirty wood. And so you vote for me, there'll be electricity in every house. That was the song that politicians sang back then in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And in the ads in the Ladies' Home Journal back in 1910, they sold 1 million Thomas Edison electric stoves.
Wow.
Just from that one ad in this Ladies' Home Journal. And everybody was using electricity. Electricity was like crazy. Everybody said, we are now modern. It's everything. It's just so exciting.
Moving up with the times.
Yes, exactly. Well, they didn't realize they weren't getting their traditional source of nutritional minerals anymore with electricity, because how many wood ashes are left over, Naseem, every morning when you fuel your home with electricity? None.
Zero.
And so their gardens kind of failed, and they had the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression, all because our soil was dying, because no more wood ashes were going into the soil. And so they came up with this artificial fertilizer, NPK, which will give 3 nutrients to the plants, and they make lots of green stuff, and there's good seeds for the next generation, because they only need 3. We still needed 60 minerals and 90 essential nutrients. Well, people got sicker and sicker and sicker. Doctors began to flourish. Insurance companies came along to help with paying the bills and things, all because we went to electricity. All this is happening as a secondary event following electricity. Said, okay, now you vote for me, and we're going to have hydroelectric plants. So they had the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority. They had the Hoover Dam damming up the Colorado River. Those 2 systems, those 2 dams, actually electrified more than half the states of America.
Wow.
Those 2 systems.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of excited because there was an unintended secondary consequence, and that was flood control. Everybody's, oh man, now that we're getting electricity here, we are #1 country in the world, but we also got flood control. How good is that? Well, it turns out flooding every spring was the thing that kept our soil fertile. When you look at the big societies around the world, including India, what's the river in India?
Ganges
River, yeah. The Ganges River. The one in Egypt, the Nile. And then there's the ones going into the Garden of Eden, the Tigris and Euphrates River. And then the one, let's see here, you got the Thames in England.
Yes.
And you have the Mississippi in America, right? And you got all these big rivers. People lived around them because they would flood every spring. And when the floodwater would recede, Naseema, what was left behind?
Sediments.
Silt.
Yeah.
Sediments, very good. You got it. You get 100, A+. Sediment and silt. And when the floodwater receded, leave the silt and the sediments behind. Now, did farmers push that off to the side before they planted? They'd plow it back in and renew the mineral content of the soil every spring.
Right. Now
we have flood control.
Yes.
No more silt, no more wood ashes, and doctors are saying, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. And that's why we're so sick. That's why our children will be the first generation who do not live as long as us unless we supplement them.
What's obesity, and how did that come to such a rise then?
Well, obesity is of epidemic proportions, and it's a nutritional deficiency too. It's a nutritional deficiency.
Everything is tied to it.
Yeah, and we'll talk about obesity because we're the #1 obese nation in the world.
It's not something to be proud for. Stand by and we'll be back. Be right back after this short break. I am Naseema of the Naseema Omer Radio Show and a key leader distributor of Youngevity. I take the nutritional supplements that Dr. J.Wallach has put together in a neat package, Healthy Body Start Pack, and get all the 90 essential nutrients daily. Get started on yours today from my online store, NaseemaOmer.com. That's NaseemaOmer.com, or call 877-279-9422.
Hi, I'm Dr. J.Wallach, founder of Youngevity, a publicly traded company. We're very excited about it. We're in 55 countries and just really helping the world. Just very excited. I've been sharing this message for over 30 years, and it has not changed with the changing times. Every man, woman, and child needs the 90 essential nutrients just to survive, much less to thrive. To put the odds in your favor to live as long as possible with the highest possible quality of life, you must get these nutrients every day.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll-free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Will the government protect your family from Iran and North Korea's newest weapon, EMP? We buy guns to protect ourselves, home, health, and car insurance for accidents. Maybe you also have food storage. But how would you keep your refrigerator running in a long-term EMP blackout? Using tested military designs, the Solarc EMP-hardened solar generator protects and powers your critical appliances for years without burying items underground or wrapping them in aluminum foil. Unlike other preps, Solarc is used every day to help offset your electric bill automatically. Visit PortableSolarLLC.com to learn how easily expandable the system is. Solarc is the most affordable and powerful solution on the market. The whole system even fits in the back of a pickup or SUV and can install in less than an hour. See for yourself why Solarc beats other off-grid systems at PortableSolarLLC.com. Don't wait for the government. Go to PortableSolarLLC.com to learn why Solarc is energy insurance for your family.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Think about this. Your community's aging water infrastructure systems are very likely to be contaminated with heavy metals like lead, disinfection chemicals like ammonia, chlorine and chloramines, and pharmaceuticals like statins, pain meds, and antidepressants. And no, water treatment plants are not equipped to filter these pharmaceutical toxins out. Protect your family's water supply with the trusted Big Berkey water filter. New NSF EPA-certified lab tests show Big Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria, and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification, and our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Welcome back. I am Naseema of the Naseema Omer Show, and I am talking with Dr. J.Wallach today on so much information, nutritional supplements, supplementation, technology, the fall of minerals from our food, and so much more. So, Dr. Joel Wallach, just before we went to break, we talked about our number one topic, really our number one status in the world, obesity. And it's not something to be happy about, because we do not want to be number one.
Not in that category.
No.
Well, like diabetes, there's a false theory here. And there's been thousands of false medical theories every century, going back 5,000 years ago. And the 20th century and 21st century are no different. And like diabetes, obesity is due to a deficiency, in this case, a class of nutrients. Any one of these nutrients in this class is missing, you're going to gain weight and become obese. And there's 3 of them in that class. If you're deficient in any one, or certainly 2 or 3 of those, you're going to be the 400, 600, 800, 1,200 pound person.
Oh, my God. I never want to get there.
Yeah. Well, you're a model.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Doc.
You're an example of what the 90 essential nutrients can do. So we're very proud of you, dear.
Thank you.
And so this is really tragic, because experts are saying 70% of our kids are overweight, 40% of our kids are obese. Has nothing to do with lack of exercise or eating too much, which is the prevailing medical theory. For 125 years, Naseema, the theory has been people are overweight and obese because they eat too much and don't exercise enough. Well, we exercise in gyms and fitness centers more than any other nation in the world, and we're still the number one obese nation in the world. We buy all these prepackaged foods on TV, go to the grocery store and get these shakes and things, and we're still the number one obese nation in the world. And that's because we're deficient in the nutrients, because we no longer use wood for fuel. These nutrients aren't being put in our gardens anymore. They're not. We no longer have flooding in our farm soils, which renewed the mineral content. And so you have to supplement with your 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 minerals, and 3 fatty acids. You get the nutrition you need. And people, they get on a gluten-free diet, which increases your absorption of the nutrients, get on a gluten-free diet, and get on the 90 essential nutrients, and they'll usually lose 15 to 25 pounds. I don't know how I lost it. I wasn't even trying. I'm eating the same thing, and I lost all this weight. And then if you need to lose 50, 75, 100 or more pounds, we actually have a system for that. And you will lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And the magic is, Naseema, you'll never gain the weight back as long as you stay on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight, because it's nutritional deficiencies that cause obesity, not lack of exercise and eating too much. Just the opposite. 120 degrees, 180 degrees from what doctors are saying.
Right. And I love the fact on cribbing. It's like, the cows don't know. You don't have to direct the cow to just have one salt lick a day, one lick of the salt lick a day. That is too funny. And so my point is, some people get scared about, you're going to have too much, it's not going to be good. It's very, very difficult to OD on minerals and supplements. Take it at face value. It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You'd have to eat 60 bottles of vitamin C a day, to really get in trouble.
Yeah.
Who's going to do that? There's cheaper ways to kill yourself.
Right. So, no, you're right. There's special packs that are put in place for support of those types of things and body loss. And brain and heart pack is an amazing one, and it does so much more. It ties into your circulatory support and so much more. And brain and heart are not the only places that need good circulation. Is that correct?
That is correct, because our brains, of course, utilize as much nutrition as anything else. Our brains need 90 essential nutrients. The medical system has the false belief your brain only needs sugar, because it's one of the biggest fuel-burning organs in your body is the brain, because it's working day and night even when you're asleep. And of course that's true, but your brain needs all 90 essential nutrients. All the diseases, all the behavioral problems that we get from our brain, things like ADD, ADHD, autism, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, depression, manic depression, bipolar disease, which when you're in uniform is called PTSD. And then there's schizophrenia, there's psychoses. All of these various disease states and emotional problems that are dealt with by the brain are all simple nutritional deficiency diseases. You take the nutrients, they get better and or go away. And so the whole idea, it's always amazing to me, our government does not give any of our military personnel any vitamins and minerals, and they wonder why they come home with PTSD, which is They're eating nothing but sugar and canned drinks, soft drinks. When they're out in the war zone, they're getting dry foods, they're getting canned foods, bottled foods. They come back and they're depressed, and the psychologists and psychiatrists put them on antidepressant medication, and 20 a day are committing suicide. Now,
so sad.
Those are the ones that die. Now, there's many hundreds more than that who attempt suicide. They have to run to the hospital, right? Because they've attempted, they didn't kill themselves. So these are all nutritional deficiencies of the brain. And we have the book, Rare Earths and Cures. It goes in how to diagnose these things yourself. Again, you don't need to get on your permanent medical record. You have a family member. You say, you're kind of acting weird, Frank. Let's do
some investigation here. Very true, very true. Autism is in the rise.
Well, in 1980, Naseema, the rate of autism was 1 in 250,000 kids. It was only 4 per million. Well, today, it's 1 in 45. Not 45,000, 1 in 45.
People, yeah.
So these are kids under the age of 18. And it's because of nutritional deficiencies. You do not get nutrition in breakfast cereal and apple juice. Okay, it's calories, and people will get kind of energized, go to school or go to work, and then they go to sleep in the middle of the morning kind of thing. But it's not nutrition. And so they do have to supplement properly every meal, and then they will not die before the parents do. It's really a terrible, terrible crime that proactive advice from doctors is what's killing us.
Let's talk a little about bones and joints and ligaments and tendons. I know we talked a little bit about sports and athletes and stuff, but there's so much more to it, and it doesn't need to be complicated.
Well, it's not complicated. Medical doctors have the belief that your bones and ligaments and cartilage form by the time you're 28 years old, and that's it. You just want to try and maintain what you got, by not wearing too much wear and tear and rest and that kind of stuff. Well, it turns out that our bones and cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and disc between our vertebrae are really dynamic. Just like the rest of your tissue. Everybody knows we lose skin cells from our skin. If you've never vacuumed your rug, you're going to have a half-inch of skin cells over your rug,
all
right?
over,
or you could take your bed sheets and flick them. You see all this white cloud come up. That's your skin cells that you shed every day. Well, your skin replaces itself, and your bones and cartilage and ligaments and tendons do too, if they're getting the 90 century. That's the epigenetics thing. Your genes, DNA, RNA, and telomeres require these nutrients to be able to rebuild the tissues. This is what genes and DNA and RNA and telomeres do. But they are like a blueprint. They cannot function. They cannot do their job without these raw materials. And so this is why you need to take them every day. Even people say, well, I don't have any health problems. Now is the time you want to take them, just like you're putting 6 quarts of oil in your car before the engine burns up, not after it burns up. You don't want to put 6 quarts of Texas dirt in there, hoping there's oil
a little drop that comes off.
Yeah, exactly. And so the body will heal itself, the body will rebuild itself, the body will maintain itself if you give it the 90 essential nutrients. We do this. I have admirals from the U.S. Navy in Hong Kong who send me people who are Special Forces guys, Navy SEALs who are just a mess when they come back, and we rebuild them using nutrition and diet. And we take people who have bone-to-bone arthritis. They have terrible musculoskeletal problems of all kinds, muscles, fibromyalgia, lupus, and we get them on a diet. We clean up their diet, get rid of all the bad stuff, and then we put them on the 90 essential nutrients appropriate for body weight, and suddenly now their genes and DNA and RNA and telomeres engage and begin to do their job and rebuild these tissues and maintain them. And so it's very, very exciting once you realize that. And we have a new book out called Epigenetics. Yes. I want everybody to read that one. But the first place we really started making people aware that they had to participate in maintenance of their body, it just didn't happen. And no matter how good of genes your grandma had, because she's putting her wood ashes in her garden.
Right.
And so you have to supplement, and then you will maximize your genetic potential for health and longevity and fending off disease and repairing yourself. And this is called epigenetics, and people need to read this book because within 20 years, Naseema, nobody will even be taught the word genetics in universities anymore.
Interesting.
Except for a failed medical theory.
Fascinating. And Doc, it's never too late to get started in fueling your body with the essential nutrients daily for life, right?
As long as you're alive.
As long as you're alive and you're breathing air. Because I hear so often people saying, oh, I'm in my 70s, I'm in my 80s, it's too late for me. My bones are this way. That's it.
I work with people over 100, and one of the funny stories, because it turned out well, was the EMTs came to a house where a person had a heart attack, and they came and gave him all the tests, and declared him dead. And this son, who's 30 years old, didn't want to, I said, I'm not going to believe that. So he went and got our minerals, and he was lugging these minerals down Dad's throat, and 5 minutes later, Dad wakes up and say, well, I'm sorry, I must have slipped and fallen.
Oh.
So that's
miracles.
So even if you're dead, you might try it.
Yeah. Nothing to lose. Stay tuned. We have so much more to say. If you need the list of the good foods and the bad foods that need to be avoided, do send me a note through NaseemaOmer.com. Doc Wallach, let's talk about what disease state? RA. Autoimmune is on the rise. Autoimmune diseases are so on the rise.
Rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, those kind of things. It's called a autoimmune disease. And this is usually said when doctors don't know what the problem is, how to deal with it. And so they blame it on your body not being able to heal itself. And in fact, your body can kill you. If your immune system is too strong, goes after your own body and kills you or disables you. And that way, they're off the hook. Well, it turns out that there are no such things as an autoimmune disease, except maybe a bubble boy that's born with no immune system because mom was missing things during the pregnancy when the immune system's farming. And so we can talk about these, quote, autoimmune diseases, unquote, which are not.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-990-1243. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-990-1243. That's 1-800-990-1243. 1-800-990-1243.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD, and if untreated, could lead to blindness. The good news, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that may reverse some vision loss. For free AMD information, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. There is a cure in sight.
Welcome back. Thank you for tuning into the Naseema Omer Show. I am Naseema, your host today, and I am interviewing Dr. J.Wallach. We are in our last section of our 1-hour program here. Dr. J.Wallach, we were talking about autoimmune diseases and how we've been told that it's your body fighting your own cells.
Your own tissues, yep.
Your own tissues.
Okay, that's the theory by the medical system, but it's 180 degrees from the truth. It's totally a false theory. It turns out that people with all these autoimmune diseases, again, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, these sorts of things, sarcoidosis is another one, and these are actually caused secondarily to gluten intolerance. Mm-hmm. Gluten intolerance alters the lining of your small intestine, so you lose the ability to absorb nutrients, even if you're supplementing. You've heard people say, "Oh, I got these terrible headaches. I can take 2 bottles of aspirin and won't touch it."
Right.
That's because they're not absorbing the aspirin.
Right.
You get them on a gluten-free diet, and you got to be careful because more than 2 aspirins might kill them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the same thing is true here. Now, rheumatoid arthritis is a little bit different. Doctors have thrown it in to the autoimmune system along with sarcoidosis and fibromyalgia and lupus, but rheumatoid arthritis is really just bone-to-bone arthritis. It's secondarily infected with a bug called mycoplasma, which is a respiratory bug, gets in your bloodstream, likes to set up housekeeping, and secondarily infect bone-to-bone arthritis joints. And the interesting thing about it is it's killable. That bug, mycoplasma, is killable in 2 weeks with a antibiotic called, minocycline, like a little bait fish. Minocycline is one of the members of the tetracycline family. And we can kill that mycoplasma in 2 weeks with minocycline like you can kill syphilis in 2 weeks with penicillin. It's not a mystery. But doctors want to tell you it's an autoimmune thing so they can treat you forever. Once they got you on the hook, they don't want to let you loose because you're where they get their income from. And so they just do not want to let you try to heal yourself. Well, you get on and say, well, my doctor won't write me a prescription for that minocycline. I ask him about it. He says it's not true. Well, go to Mexico. You can buy a year's supply for $8.
There you go.
Without a prescription.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And have fun in Mexico while you're there, right?
Exactly.
Go to Cancun and have a blast. And so you get on a gluten-free diet, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats, no wheat, barley, rye, and oats. This is a lifetime thing, not for just 6 weeks. This is forever. That includes the dog, the cat, the bird, the fish. Well, I don't eat dog food, yes, but you feed the dog. You're inhaling the dust. Is that sensitive? Your spouse, your mother-in-law, your kids, everybody in the household has got to be gluten-free. And if you're a woman, you passed on that gluten intolerance to your kids. If you're a man, you haven't because no pregnancies, obviously. And so then you get on the 90 essential nutrients to support maintenance repair of all the connective tissue, and you take the antibiotics, or at least herbs that will support your immune system. There are herbs that have antimicrobial properties. You can kill bugs with certain herbs. And so there's ways of doing this. Of course, we have the book Leslie Doctor. We have the book Epigenetics. And Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Everybody needs to read that one. Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Because that's the only time they won't. Is when they be dead. And so, it's a horrible thing to have to say. But medical doctors, people think, I'm going in every year for a mammogram and a pap smear because my doctor loves me and he wants to take care of me. He's concerned with my health and he's looking for early stages of cancer. And he makes a nice living by doing that. But he wins the lottery when he finds cancer. Because the treatments are $40,000 a piece. He wants to treat you every day for 10 years, right?
Right. Oh, that reminds me. You talked about the RA pieces and stuff. I've heard people being put on chemotherapy for RA conditions.
Yes, for rheumatoid arthritis, yeah. And you should flee when your doctor says you need chemotherapy because the chemotherapy will kill you and can injure you. The treatment can kill you here. You do not want to take chemotherapy for rheumatoid arthritis or lupus or sarcoidosis or fibromyalgia. You take the 90 essential nutrients, and it will support and promote maintenance repair because this is epigenetics now. You're giving your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres what they need to do their jobs. Just like you can take Naseema, you can take the blueprint of your dream home, throw it on the dream lot. A year later, you still don't have a house. You need carpenters and bricklayers and bricks and concrete and shingles to build the house.
To make it happen.
Well,
to make it happen. Thank you again, Dr. J.Wallach, for your taking time and being on this show. And thank you to all the listeners. Stay tuned for next week's program.
Hi, I'm Dr. J.Wallach, founder of Youngevity, a publicly traded company. We're very excited about it. We're in 55 countries and just really helping the world. Just very excited. I've been sharing this message for over 30 years, and it has not changed with the changing times. Every man, woman, and child needs the 90 essential nutrients just to survive, much less to thrive. To put the odds in your favor to live as long as possible with the highest possible quality of life, you must get these nutrients every day.
I am Naseema of the Naseema Omer Radio Show and a key leader distributor of Youngevity. I take the nutritional supplements that Dr. J.Wallach has put together in a neat package, Healthy Body Start Pack, and get all the 90 essential nutrients daily. Get started on yours today from my online store, NaseemaOmer.com. That's NaseemaOmer.com, or call 877-279-9422.
ProPure water filters, making water great again. Taste and feel the difference with state-of-the-art filter technology. Pro 1 G2.0 and Pro Max filters are independent lab-tested to NSF standards. Choose from Gravity, Countertop, Pitcher, Shower, and Inline filtration products. There's a ProPure for you. Buy risk-free today. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
So you
you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.